This might be one of the best non-signature recent Team Jordans, even though this is not a performance shoe, so it's technically not a Team Jordan. But it just might be one of the best non-signature Jordan shoes that they put out in quite a while. Hey, what's good guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got something that most people probably don't think is special, but I've been anticipating this shoe, and this is the Jordan MA2. So these things right here are pretty interesting, I think. I really want to know your thoughts, and by you, I do mean both the viewer and you, the woman behind the camera.
Oh, I have them.
Yes, I'm very curious. Anyways, these guys right here, again, the Jordan MA2 stands for Max Air 2. Their marketing is really lame for the shoe, by the way. They say that this is the shoe that you leave by the door. Most shoes, you just stay them. Like they're just right there, right? You can grab them and go. If you want them to be your beaters.
They should have been called like your go-to.
Yeah, not the shoe that you like wear to the grocery store just because. So what the f are your retros? You know, that's my thing. It's like, I like to wear my retros all the time. I'll leave them by the door and I'll slide them on and I'll look fresh. And that's the thing that I just don't like about these. But the shoe itself, I think is really cool. The shoe is kind of a derivative though of a previous shoe that got no love, and that was the Jordan Max 200. And that was the first Jordan shoe to feature the Air Max 200 unit, which is this big ass air unit back here. But the first shoe to feature this air unit was actually the Nike Air Max 200, which you do have. We did a review on those. That's a really cool shoe. I like those. Now these guys right here are, in my opinion, better than that previous Jordan Max 200. I don't like it when Jordan does that stuff. Like they're like, oh, Nike came up with something new. Let me tinker with it.
And be late to the party.
Very late to the party, yes. The once trendsetter is now the trend chaser. But anyways, these guys right here feature way better materials than that shoe, which I think is really cool. And I think the reason behind that is because they reuse the tooling from that shoe. So from the midsole down, it's identical to the previous model. That does include the traction. The traction isn't really anything crazy. This is not a performance shoe, by the way. This is strictly a lifestyle shoe. Now the midsole is something interesting. I really like the design of it. I think that it has nice little callbacks to the Air Jordan 4. You can see what would be the pinky toe killer. It's just all one piece of foam. Now the type of foam is something that I'm curious about because it's pretty firm, but it does feel good underfoot. So I'm wondering if it's injected Phylon. It feels very similar to the injected Phylon that was featured on the Jordan Westbrook Why Not 02. It's not quite as fluffy or bouncy, but as far as like in hand, the feel, like with your fingers, not underfoot, but the way that it literally feels very similar. The way that it feels underfoot is that it's a little bit more dense, but you do have that giant air unit back there, which is quite comfortable, I gotta say. Something that I don't like about the way that the midsole feels though, is that you can feel what you can see, which is that heel to toe drop. Like you can see it more on this side where it's like, you know what I mean? They hide it really well with all of the ridges and things like that on this side. But this right here, you can feel where your arch should be, and there isn't one. It feels like I'm being forced downward, almost like the 720s.
You need some arch pillows. Probably.
They didn't come with any. And I'm not gonna take them out of my Air Max box and put them in here because they belong in that box. You could always do an insole thing. There's insoles with arch supports in them. So if you ever needed something like that, there's usually an insole for everything. But that's my only real complaint about the shoe, is just that you can feel the heel to toe drop, and I don't think that it's very comfortable. Everything else on the shoe though looks, in my opinion at least, fantastic. The materials right here, as far as the overlays go, that super hairy suede, love it, man. Like this is awesome. And it's not everywhere, it's just in some places, but I do think that it's in all the right places. The colorways are aplenty, by the way. So this is my favorite of them so far, but there are tons of them and there's gonna be tons more. So if you don't like these, there's gonna be something out there that you might like. So just be patient. Now, as far as the rest of the materials go, there's a little bit of leather on the shoe. So we've got some genuine leather right here. It's thin cut, but it's nice. And then we've got some of it around the collar. This area right here feels super stiff. I don't know exactly if that's real material because it does not feel the same, but it could be. Then the base layer right here is almost like a ripstop looking material, but it's not. It's like a neoprene with the kind of design laid into it. And I really like the way that that looks and the way that it feels. They also carry that up through the tongue, and then they do a rough cut on it so that you can see the exposed padding. It's not new. A lot of people think that that's like an off-white thing. It's just that off-white made it currently popular, but that's actually a Nike vintage thing, which they've done since the very first basketball shoe that they've done, the Nike Blazer, that had a rough cut around the tongue. A lot of their old runners used to have that too. Actually, I'm wearing, I don't know what they called it. It's just a court shoe.
The Kill Shot?
Yes. We have not done a video on those because I don't think there's enough interest on them, but it is one of my favorite low-key sneakerhead shoes. So if you still want that video on low-key sneakers, you're gonna have to let me know. This might not be the video that everybody watches to see me inquire if you guys are interested, but that just shows how many people will actually come through and support us for real, because we appreciate our real ones, not the ones that just come for the weekly retro. But yeah, that rough cut on the tongue is just something that Nike's done since the get-go. And that's what Virgil did, is that he brought that back and really made it popular. Now, something that he did do is this weird branding thing. I do like it. I think that this looks neat. I think this weird pull tab in the way is not cool, but I like the patch underneath it. I think that that's sick. It's really interesting that it says Nike Air right there as well. And then this one is a little bit different. Inspired by greatness, designed for flight. Inspire. Even though this isn't designed for flight, again, this is designed to sit by your front door. One of the weirdest but coolest features on the shoe is actually right here on the side. It's this other really random looking pull tab, but it's actually made out of rubber, and I think it's really cool looking. And on top of that, it says the Air Unit's tech specs, which is an airbag 200, and the PSI level is 20, which is sweet. I believe that's what like one of the more recent LeBrons is at too. I think it was the 17s. We also have some more rubber right here, which is this little panel peeking through that's highlighted in this colorway in yellow. And then we've got more of that right here in the back of the heel. It looks like the heel counter. I don't know why it says foot to foot eject. Oh, I do know why. It's because that's how you take off your shoes. You step on the back. I do like that. That's actually pretty clever. It's a rugged rubber material. It's got some grip on there. So when you go and you're a lazy person like me and you go like this to take your shoe off, and then you go like this and take your other shoe off, it won't jack up all the nice suede. Now, as far as sizing is concerned, they do fit true to size. They are a little snug for those of you guys that are worried about that, but I think it's a good snug because of all of the neoprene padding layers, all of that stuff. Even this back collar, which is a little higher than it maybe should be, has a lot of nice padding in there. So I think that that's a good touch, especially since it is so high. Also, I didn't say this earlier, but I love the little tip of the gum right there at the toe. It looks hella cool, man. So to me, this looks like if an Air Jordan shoe is made for you, this is it.
It even goes with my outfit today.
It does. So do you like these?
I do.
You do, okay. Do you like the materials? Are you not really a big material person? I don't know. Like, I know that you like them when they're comfortable around your foot, but I don't know if you like them the way that I do. Where
yeah.
like I'll smell it and touch it and all that stuff. And I just, it makes me feel like I spent my money on something really of some quality.
Right.
Whereas you're more like, it needs to be just comfortable wrapping around your foot.
And cute.
Okay.
So I like this one. I don't like this weird
I love
side
that.
tab.
I love that thing. I think it's just cool that it's got the tech specs right there.
I feel like it could have been like that and not been a weird pull tabby thing and just
maybe
been the little specs, and I would have been like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Maybe, but that would be a nitpick, yeah?
Yeah, that's a little nitpick, but I feel like it's really clean. I just like it.
It is. I think that this is like a good example because that's where like I don't think that the previous version of the shoe, just the Jordan Max 200, it had the same sole. So again, you had that kind of like mini shout out to the Jordan 4 with this, you know, like if you see this, and you're like a hardcore Jordan guy, like you could see the Air Jordan 4 influence in it. But the whole upper on that shoe was just, I don't know, it just looked unappealing. You know what I mean?
I don't even remember it.
That most people probably don't. And it's still available. Now there was some like side holes on the shoe that could have been loosely, you know, reminiscent of like the side netting on the Air Jordan 5. I don't know if that's what it was from.
Okay.
But the panels on this shoe though, again, just like the tooling, almost flow like the Air Jordan 4, where you got the, you know, the overlay rand, and then they really accentuate that on this side. But they do a little extra thing with the little tip right there, which I think is really neat. Yeah, so I just think that they did a really good job. I've always liked this rubber piece. I just didn't realize that it said foot to foot eject on it until like while we were filming. I think it's cool that it looks like graph paper too. And it's almost like they're like showing you the designs. That's what I like about.
Wait a minute.
What?
Yours has a 2 in it, and there's a 3 on the back of this one.
Oh man,
just some
look at
extra.
You. Look at you. It's like the mother box.
Oh.
How it's like pulsing like that, and then the little dots in there. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show that in B-roll, but the ones that make up the 2 and the 3 that she just saw are the squares that are raised. Good eye.
Thank you.
Very good eye. I did not see that. I think I do have an issue with color where it looks all the same.
Well,
you know what I mean?
To be fair, it is all the same.
No, I know, but it really does. Like I still have to like really look at it to see it. But anyways, let us know what you think about these down below in the comment section. Be practical, be fair. Don't just trash these just because they're not a retro. Look at this for what it is, which I think is a cool shoe. Although I could hear right now, everybody's typing Walmart shoe.
No, I go to Walmart. I see the shoes that are there. This is not it.
I know. They are looking like Jordan 6s and Jordan 11s and Jordan 3s and Jordan 4s. And they got the little Shaq logo on them. That's a Walmart shoe. Thank you once again for watching. Thanks for all the support. And until next time, guys, have a good one.